there to, correct a story or to, say this or that, but just to let them get things off of their mind and talk amongst themselves, I think was a huge step for me. And if you know me personally, I have control issues big time. So that was kind of like a test for me to see if I could, go away, go in the other room, show them how to do it and walk away. And I did. And, like I said, I listened, and it was a good podcast. There was some really good points brought up and some really good things that were said by all of them, by my mom, by my sister, and by Marnie. And I really think we should do a show or a feature or something about alcoholics and the people who love them. Because without those people, I feel bad, or my old friend Matt, who used to be on the show, it's like, look at his situation, look at mine, completely different. And, he doesn't have any control over, who's there for him and who's not. And neither do I. I just got lucky. And I understand how lucky I am. The things that I've done and said to people in my family and that are, closest to me, and, they're still there for me. It really helps me accept people. And I'm still working on how quick I am to turn my back on somebody. But, right now, in recovery, and when I say turn my back on somebody, if somebody comes up and they're like, hey, I need some help, I'm not going to just walk away, but I'm talking about like personal relationships and, going with somebody or putting myself in a situation that is not good for my recovery, or a situation or an argument or whatever that I don't need to be involved in. I don't need to be involved in it. It's those moments I have to really walk away. And that's what I mean by when I say turn my back on something. But I'm quick to do that now. And I think that has helped me this time around in my road to recovery. So, speaking of road to recovery, we put in for funds, I guess you could call it, to start a recovery transportation service. And I'm so excited. And I have a lot of faith in God that things are going to happen the way they're supposed to. And I was already kind of told, well, probably not going to get the vehicles that you're looking for, but, we'll see what we can do, cross your fingers. And, if that's the worst of it, that's fine. There's other avenues, there's other things, it's God's plan. I'm just putting the pen to the paper, man. And I'm really excited. And I think it's really going to help a lot of people out. And just by doing one small thing like this transportation thing, like, you never know who we're going to save or who's going to find it, maybe at a meeting that they're going to, and, they have that access because maybe they're sitting there having a bad day and normally wouldn't go to a meeting, but you know what? They could pick up the phone and, call 217 recovery rides and we'll take them to a meeting, like that's huge. It really, really is huge, especially up here in northern Michigan. There's no, what is that, Tyrone?
At least in Detroit, you have a bus stop.
Right. At least in Detroit, you have a bus stop. But up here, it's a lot harder, man. And if you've ever been arrested for drugs or whatever, they take your license and then they want you to go to these meetings. And how are you going to get there? Well, you're going to figure it out. All right, Grandpa, settle down. They need to take a good look at the justice system. Oh, wait, yeah, they already have. And they know they like getting paid. Yeah. That's, again, another... Wait, was that Tyrone?
Man.
Yeah. We'll save that discussion for another time. But I'm just saying, it'll be awesome when that gets started. And like I said, my faith is in God. I'm on the right path. And my faith is tested every single day. And it seems like it's tested big time now. I'm the type of person who needs to know what's happening tomorrow, at what time. and I need to know what's happening the next day and the next day, and I need to be in control of what happens at that time and that day. So to not kind of know right now, I'm in a weird place, and I feel it. I really do. I feel tension with the guys. I feel frustration within, the ranks of 217 sometimes even. And, we're not going to air dirty laundry here. And there's not real dirty laundry, but it's just the things that I'm noticing and the things that I can see, and the things I can't see and the things I don't know, they really, I don't want to say upset me, but they leave me feeling uneasy. But what can I do about it? What can I do about it? That's the only thing that I can control. How I act. The situations are going to come up and I can react. But that's never really the best way to go. And usually when I react to something, it's the wrong way. So I try to, take a minute and just sit there in silence sometimes and think about, what I can do, what I can say, how I can control myself and the situation. What can I do about it? I don't know. And what's going to happen? I don't know. I can pray about it, and I can trust God that, the rides will come through, and, we can start helping people that way. We'll start helping people in recovery coaches, get jobs as drivers, and they're going to be paid all right. We pay pretty good. So that's something that will just move us to the next level, and where I want to take 217 recovery, and where Ryan and Anna and Chris and Marty and Tyrone and Sonia, where we want to go with it, and Kylie, can't forget her. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a wonderful thing that we do, and we're doing it to help ourselves. We are, not really financially, but I've always said that'll come along, whether I write a book or who knows. I'm not worried about the money, but I'm doing it to keep myself sober, to have that sense of purpose and that sense of pride that I was lacking. And that for me works. That's, again, not for everybody. Helping other people, though, I think is. And if you don't help other people, maybe you should try to find ways, and some people say you can start by helping old people cross the street, but I don't know, maybe if that's your thing, if you live on a busy street, I don't know, you can figure out what you need to do to help other people. Maybe mowing your neighbor's yard or something, who knows, or this time of year, depends where you live, I guess. Shoveling their driveway off, take you 2 seconds maybe, shovel their sidewalk. I don't know, just little things like that can really affect you and your community and your environment, and changing that environment for the better. Imagine if a big snowstorm comes, or whatever, if you're down in Arkansas or Missouri or out in Seattle or New Zealand. I don't know what your weather is like in, was it Christchurch or Christland? Anyway, sorry for butchering the name of your city, but imagine it snows, okay? And you don't even realize it, but you look over and you see your 3-year-old, when on your way out the door, you see your 3-year-old or 4-year-old, however old, 2-year-old, whatever. You see your kid sitting on the couch watching whatever they watch, I'm not sure. But they're watching Smurfs, whatever, Dora. And you just kind of hit the door and you just notice them out of the corner of your eye and you're like, oh, they're watching TV. Okay, good. and you go out and you notice the driveway's really bad, and your neighbor, maybe she's an older woman, single, widowed, whatever. Anyway, you go over and you shovel her sidewalk off. And what you don't see is your kid. Your kid sees you leave, and she wants to know where daddy or mommy's going, he or she. And, the kid jumps off the couch and looks out the window and sees you doing that. You come back in and, the kid sat there and the kid watched you do that the whole time. And you had no idea any of that was going on. Things like that are things that can really change the environment. And now, will that kid remember that when, they're 16, 17, 40? Who knows? But I think a little bit of that goes back to what I was saying earlier in the genes and the environment. Seeing other people do good and seeing other people do things like that makes other people want to do things. If you're doing that every single day, not every day, but you know what I mean, when it snows or every time, that kid is going to just assume that that's what we need to do, to help the people who are in need of help out. They're not going to look at it like, oh, I did this huge thing for somebody, now I need a favor. They're going to look at, that's what we do. And, if we can build communities with that kind of thinking, I think, the world would be a much better place. So that's what I'm going to do, because that's what I can control. So things like that, when I want to settle down, when I say settle down, I mean take the next step in my journey in recovery, and have a family and get married. That's the kind of things that I'm going to look at, and it's easier said than done. We didn't have any neighbors really, so I didn't see anybody shoveling stuff, but yeah, more helping others and making that more of a common thing, doesn't have to be such a big deal. And it makes you feel good, too. You get the dopamine, the serotonin, and all that stuff flowing through your brain when you help somebody and when you finish something. And, like I said, you do it for yourself. Even though you're doing something for somebody else, you really do it for yourself. Try it once. Mail me a check. Mail me a check for $10. I'll send you a shirt. Oh, yeah, and the shirts, man. And here's the thing. Some people have accused us of, well, you make more women's shirts. Well, it's because where we get the women's shirts, well, we get all of our shirts, mostly. They have more women's clothes that are on sale, on clearance. And they're really nice clothes. I got my brother a shirt and gave it to him. I was like, wow, that's a nice shirt. Must cost a lot of money. I just looked at her like, Ma, really? You think I'm going to spend a lot of money? And Travis, I love you to death, bro. But, yeah, it's a nice shirt, though. But the logos are coming along nice, and we're getting better at making them. So if you do want a shirt, just, send us an email. Or send me an email, I guess, Corey, Corey, at 217recovery.com. And if you haven't checked out our new website, man, check that out. Kind of proud of that. Put that together, 217recovery.com. Just take a couple minutes, check it out. There's resources on there. Yeah. And, from sober living to kind of my take on rehabs. But it's good. And speaking of rehabs, and since it is Shout Out Thursday, Courtney from Skywood Recovery broke my heart today. I haven't even told the guys yet because I'm still kind of waiting to hear back from my man Charles down in Battle Creek. But she said, well, we're going on March 6th. This was the plan. We were going to go to Skywood Recovery. It's just outside of Kalamazoo. We were going to go down there. They're going to give us a tour of their facility. I've heard it's gorgeous. If you know someone who's looking at a place, I recommend kind of looking into that, But again, call your insurance company. Make sure that that's what they want. Talk to your doctor first about it. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen really overnight. You can't really just, boom, I'm going to rehab right now. It doesn't really work that way. But it's something to look into. But anyway, we're going to go there. We're going to tour it. And then we were supposed to speak, to the patients. And I know Chris was really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing Chris speak in front of people.